Finally, it's back, baby. Finally, Jujutsu Kaisen back, baby, with a vengeance. It feels like it's been ages, and it's only been like, what, 3 weeks since Jujutsu Kaisen went on that mid-core break. But we're back, baby. We got a new opening. We got a new ending. We continue on into the next arc. So, major excitement. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready to talk some Jujutsu Kaisen, fam. Let's go, Jujutsu Kaisen. Greatness! 2021, it's kicking into hard gear with Jujutsu Hoi, mate. Let's do it. Make your move. That's how it be, though. Okay, people, so first order of business. We've got new openings and new endings. I want to say, regarding the opening, because to be honest with you, opening 1 was magnificent. From the visuals to the music, everything about it was great. So it's not like you're really going to just say, oh, we had such a vast improvement. And I've seen back and forth, just being 100% honest, my opinion, I really like this opening, and honestly, I prefer it slightly more than the last one. Just slightly more. The visuals are gorgeous, and again, the visuals from opening 1 were great too, but between like that scene of Gojo with the flowers and just Gojo looking great, and Yuji just looks excellent, everything about it, and seeing Panda beating on his chest on a rooftop and shit, like, oh, the new opening, I love it. I love the music. I like the music even more, even though some people disagree. I've seen many people saying that they prefer the music from the first opening. For me, I really like this new opening's music and the visuals both. Like, again, not to discredit opening 1. I gotta keep mentioning that because opening 1 was fantastic, but opening 2, I love it. I absolutely love it. Again, the visuals, like, I just have a few key visuals in my mind from it, and I'm just like, oh my god, those key animation scenes is amazing. So, shout outs to the openings. The ending, different story. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm so like, oh my god, why did we switch the ending? And to be honest with you, my opinion, why they do these things, right? Because like, you go to a different anime, let's just say Attack on Titan. Why didn't they just write out the very first opening for everything after that? And sometimes they do, like, you know, you go to Hunter x Hunter, we had 148 episodes, Madhouse, bam, same opening, just slightly different alterations, but you can smile again. Like, that kept on going. What I'm imagining why this happens in anime, why they change openings and endings, because to be honest with you, Lost in Paradise, that ending was godlike, god tier. The new ending, honestly, I probably will have a skip button every time it comes on, skip to see if there's anything else after, because I really don't care for that ending. It's so downbeat and depressing, and it's like, yo, how you go from Lost in Paradise, making me want to dance, and that's that I'm sad that the episode's over, to someone get the knife, get the rope, like, what is this? So I'm disappointed with the ending. I mean, the visuals, I guess, are okay-ish, but again, everything about Lost in Paradise blew this one out the water, and I wish we could have got Lost in Paradise continuing, but it's a money thing, because in case you don't know, the openings and endings from anime are usually tied to record labels like Sony Records and things like that, Sony Music, and they basically use anime openings and endings to promote this music. So it's new song, more people are gonna buy the new song than continue to buy the old song. I'm sure they'll stream it or whatever, but it's a business at the end of the day, in a nutshell, and it's a business decision. But it's a shame, because Lost in Paradise, man, I play that shit when I'm not watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I got that shit on Spotify, like, on deck. But with that being said, because I don't want to, you know, just spend the whole video talking about openings and endings. The opening, fantastic. Ending, disappointing. And one other thing about music, I love how much they really enjoy putting hip-hop instrumentals and hip-hop influence into the music in this one. Like, some of the OSTs, as I'm watching episode, I'm like, yo, I mean, it's Japanese rappers and shit, but this is hip-hop. Okay, alright, I rocks with it. Like, yo, we're progressively getting to that point. One day, you're gonna have American hip-hop music in the background for these anime. I'm just saying, you'll see it one day. You will. Next thing you know, we're gonna have like Trippie Redd doing the opening for Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 or some shit. But anywho, Jujutsu Kaisen, I want to say episode 14 if I'm not mistaken. We start off with the villains. We got Geto, Mahito, and Jogo. And Jogo has been almost completely healed back. He got his body back. Because remember, he was just ahead at the end of his battle with Gojo, where he got absolutely decimated. But he got most of his body back. Mahito is stripping naked and jumping there in like a hot spring and shit. I love, and this is just a little bit of a difference from like other anime things where they have the villains just like, you know, they're in a dingy lair somewhere or something. No, they they're in like a hot springs. Like that's where you would expect like the chicks or the protagonists to be just chilling out and shit. No, the villains are there just having a good old time. Mahito jumping in. You can see Mahito somewhat healed, but even Jogo notices like, oh, you got your ass kicked too, huh? We both got our asses handed, so we probably should listen to the man himself, Geto, right there, which I'll be honest with you, it makes sense once you find out, and you will find out, I don't know when, probably season 2, just being honest. Geto's voice, like I heard it again, you know, I'm listening, whatever, and it looks like character design wise that shouldn't be his voice, but once you understand the story and everything, you'll understand that, yeah, it probably should have been, and I can't get into it because of spoilers, but I still, at times, I'm like, oh, that doesn't quite fit him in my opinion, but it should, and it does, so yeah. But they basically speak about how the plans have went sour, so we just need to stick to Geto's plan. Geto's plan is how things are gonna move, and Jogo was like, I like how Jogo is really, he's a villain, right? He's an antagonist, so to speak, but his goal isn't necessarily bad when it's just like his people, the curses, he wants to see one day live life normally. He's like, yo, even after long that I'm gone or whatnot, as long as curses get to thrive and live their lives, then so be it. So I really like that aspect of it. Like, you gotta look at it from their perspective. Like, is he really a bad person when he's looking like the humans won't let them live? But Geto assures him things are going smoothly, and there's a particular reason why he handed in those Sukuna fingers into Jujutsu High, because obviously their whole goal is that they want to, you know, resurrect or bring forth Sukuna to kind of rule the world and take people out and whatnot. And I love how Mahito as well was talking about like why things, if he would have did things differently, it still wouldn't have worked with Sukuna. Like, yeah, Sukuna is like a Charizard season 1 a Pokemon Indigo League Charizard. That's Sukuna, fam. He's not healing, he's not doing nothing. So I think that was also interesting how the author is making sure to put in notes like, oh, in case you think like, oh, Mahito was stupid for not doing it this way, here's why it wouldn't have worked. But they're all in agreement with the plan. Then moving forward, we got a scene of Gojo and Nanamine, and they talking, and I really like the aspect of it, right? Because you see how immature to a certain degree that Gojo can be. Like, he's talking about, yo, we'll troll them with the video and stuff, like, you know, he's just having a really upbeat energy or whatever. But Nanami, he feels almost like more, even though he's less emotional, like, you know, he hides all of his emotions after we got his backstory and understand that that's why he's less emotional. Like, he's not the most emotional person, or he's not really expressive of those emotions at all, but he feels more like a father figure than Gojo. Like, he's like, no, we gotta protect his mindset, his mind state, this could be very harmful to him. And even Gojo points out, like, I'm glad that I enlisted you to be like one of his mentors and to look after him and shit like that, because Gojo, sometimes he just comes across as like, I'm a troll, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? But Nanami really looks out for him, and I like that. I like that dynamic. It gives something else for Yuji to, or somebody else for Yuji to care about, and that's Nanami. And then Yuji busts in, and again, the energy is just wild in this episode. It's just, as I'm watching the episode, I'm like, man, I'm so happy to be alive and watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I know that sounds silly and shit, but I don't know, that's just how I felt. And him and Gojo are discussing how he's going to be integrated back, and it's going to be a big surprise. Gojo's like, yo, you can't just show up. It's been months, man. We gotta do it. We gotta do it big, grande, which I think that was an excuse, because remember, at the end of the day, the principals and the higher-ups, they don't really want, it was their fault to begin with of what supposedly was going to happen with Yuji. They want him dead. So for him, I think Gojo, while he's making an excuse of like, yeah, we gotta surprise them, it's more so to keep things under wraps, because they at any given moment can try to assassinate him. But when Yuji shows up in the box, Gojo's like, hey, surprise. It was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. With Yuji there, and he's like, hey, and Nobara and Megami are just there like scared, like, what is going on here? And if you think about it, in reality, most people, if one of their loved ones just magically was in a box after, not even loved ones, but somebody that they thought, that comrade, so to speak, that they thought was dead for months now, and they just pop out of a box, you're gonna be a little bit like, nani sore? I love how the Kyoto high school kids are just like, who gives a fuck? We got some gifts right now, fam. But the best part of it all, because again, you see that there's things brewing under the surface. Like, we have this big, you know, event, this competition, Tokyo versus the Kyoto kids and all this other stuff. But then that principal, I think he's the principal of the Kyoto school, if I'm not mistaken, he's there just like, oh, really, huh? And immediately goes to planning. He takes the other kids out, and he starts talking, and he's like, yo, one of you guys kill Yuji. Just do it. Just do it. And just such a sick, oh my god, I can't wait today. Which I think he's a strong guy, so it's not like anybody can go up to him and fuck him up. But he's a piece of shit. Like, he's there plotting and planning a way to get Yuji out of here. And I loved, and that's one of the things that why I rock with this character so much, Todo's reaction. Todo's reaction when he just kicks the door, and he's like, yo, I'm real disgusted with all of you. And he masquerades it behind, because at the end of the day, then he might become enemy, and they might, you know, look at him like, we gotta kill him too. He masquerades it behind, oh, I gotta see my idol, my favorite idol's about to be on TV, and I don't like your taste in women and stuff like that. But it's really like he's looking at them like, y'all some pussies, like straight up. And at the end of the day, if it was up to, he'd probably give them a run for their money. Honestly, like if you think about it, remember, he was one of the few people that stood up in the battle of last year with everything that went down, and he would probably kick all their asses. They even after he leaves say, yo, it might be a problem what we're trying to do if Toto ain't down for it. So very interesting setup there. And again, it solidifies like Toto's a real one. He's not with the fuck shit, the fuck boy shit. We're not going to have one of those here. And just quickly, I loved how Nobara felt real stupid when she thought, oh shit, you know, I got my luggage. We're going on a trip. And she realizes, no, we're just staying here. Like we're not going anywhere. And man, is it just me or I am dying, and I'm so serious right now, I am dying for some more story of Yuta from Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I've read Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I probably might reread it, honestly, very, very shortly, because I really am so interested in this character. Like, just finding out that he was the only one from their group to participate in last year's event. I think they're called, what is it, the Goodwill event, whatnot. He was the only one. Obviously, he's abroad, and just every time we get mentions of him, he just sounds like, yo, he's so epic. But if you read Jujutsu Kaisen 0, he was more so like a early My Hero Deku type of character, Tsunayoshi Sawada Hitman Reborn type of character. He was very like just a scaredy cat, whiny, crying and all that jazz. It's interesting how Jujutsu Kaisen, you know, Gege Akutami decided, we're gonna ditch that, we're gonna get rid of the kind of scaredy cat, and we're gonna go more so with like a Ichigo or a Yusuke Urameshi type of character. More on the badass side, less on the pussy side. But man, I want to see more Yuta. Ugh, I hope they do like a movie or something. Like the way they're hyping it up, that would be freaking fire to do a movie out of either Jujutsu Kaisen 0 or something else. Like, I would love it. But after all is said and done, the secret meeting is over, the competition is about to begin, and the episode ends off with everybody gearing up, Toto and them, because they're about to throw down and Yuji's ready to go. And honestly, for a return episode, very nicely done, nice setup, seeing that the schemes behind the scenes, so it's not just going to be a typical competition, it's not going to be a, hey, we got to shake on it type of thing. A lot of dastardly deeds are going to go on behind the scenes with everyone from, you know, the second years, Kyoto high school kids. It's going to be a freaking shit show, and I'm all here for it, baby. I've got my popcorn ready. But I'm curious what you guys think about this episode. For starters, the new opening, how do you feel about it? Do you like it more or less than the previous opening? Likewise with the new ending. I don't know how anybody could say, oh, I really prefer the new ending over Lost in Paradise. If you do, what the your musical taste just is blowing my mind right now. Also, your thoughts on the episode. How do you feel about the schemes in the background? What do you think it's going to go down? Are you just like me that every time you hear about Yuta, you're like, I need to see some Yuta? And your thoughts and expectations for Jujutsu Kaisen episode 15 and beyond. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. In case I haven't said this, because I said this in another video, once Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 is over, it's time for the manga. So gear up, people, because I really love this story and these characters. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And Jujutsu Kaisen back, baby. Let's go. It's nights like this in time.